Welcome back. I'm Patty Grabeau. There's a new diva in the desert, a diva who is a Metropolitan opera star. She's determined to make classical music and opera accessible. Take a look at your screens to see Janet Hopkins. Okay, would you like to meet this wonderful woman who's an opera star that we're going to hear some beautiful lyrics from later on and some music? Janet Hopkins, will you please come out? Hello, lovey. Hi, honey. Oh, how beautiful. Please sit down. Please sit down.
Thank you. How lovely to be here.
Well,
Thank you.
It's wonderful to have you here. And I loved looking at your photos and reading the article in Palm Springs Life and seeing you in your gorgeous gowns.
Aren't they wonderful?
Oh, my gosh. Do you just transform when you put them on?
Same as a costume. All of a sudden I put it on and all the nerves of just regular communication just slip away because I become a character. Even if it's just a princess.
That's right.
I put a gown on.
Just a princess. We all want to be princesses, don't we?
Yeah.
All our lives. Now, you didn't always have the voice of today, correct?
No.
You had quite a journey.
I did. I didn't have a lot of people that believed in me, including all of my voice teachers in college, because I was very slow to develop. The bigger voices, which I have, are slower to develop, and if you're not really aware of what you're listening to, you may think there's nothing there. So, but through that, I've really got a drive to go with young people and say, you know what, you can do it. Don't listen to other people.
Right.
Don't let them ruin your
Persevere.
dreams.
But you did. You had someone who inspired you all the time, didn't you? Your dad?
Oh, my father.
Yes.
Bless his heart. What a wonderful man. He died at a very early age. He had a crippling disease. He had osteoarthritis, and he suffered for 20 years, and he would always laugh and smile, and he would never show us how much pain he was in. And I would sit and play the piano, and I would sing a song, and he'd want to hear me sing, so he would listen from this bedroom in bed. He'd listen to me sing and play, and then when I was finished, he'd sing it, because he wanted to sing too, but he wanted to hear me also.
I love it.
A wonderful man.
Isn't that wonderful? You were his angel voice, and he's your angel guiding you now.
Absolutely.
I have the same. I'm very fortunate with my dad as well. Now, recently you were in Japan, weren't you, with Placido Domingo?
I was. That was actually my third trip
to
Japan with the Metropolitan Opera, and I tend to go over there with Diva, which surprisingly enough, the Japanese love the German operas. I would think that it would be more inaccessible, but they love it, and every performance was sold out. And Placido was actually not in he was in wonderful voice, but he's been having some health issues, so we were all really rooting for him, and he came through just fine.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
He's a wonderful man.
And what opera were you performing there?
In Diva.
In Diva. Okay, I'm sorry. I should know more of opera. I'm going to learn. I'm going to learn more about opera. I'm anxious for you later on to sing for us. Now, your training in opera, where did you study?
I studied at SUNY Potsdam, way upstate New York, which right now has got so much snow you can't even imagine. And I went to school with Renee Fleming, another name that you may know.
Yes,
we were
absolutely.
Classmates and same teacher, same year.
Oh my gosh.
Another wonderful woman, wonderful woman. And I wanted to do Broadway, and all through my undergrad.
I did as well, and then ended up in Hollywood. So isn't it funny how we end up where we're supposed to land, I guess?
Absolutely.
I guess so. And I understand the Metropolitan Opera dressing room is just something to be adored.
Oh.
What does it look like?
Well, depending on what role you have,
the
bigger dressing room you have.
Oh my!
And the closer to the stage door is the lead roles, and then the smaller parts get dwindled away. But even the lowest dressing room is fabulous. We have lounges and pianos, refrigerators, wonderful full bathrooms, and they're the size of some small studio apartments in New York.
Wow.
They're really quite incredible. They do tours.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, they bring people in, and you fit 20 people in there.
So you feel like a star diva, darling, don't you?
Absolutely.
Star diva.
Oh, you have their names on the door. It's very cute.
That's fabulous. Now, there's one story where there's a story about bandages. Would you like to share that with us? I think it's fun. Come on, tell us.
I love that story. That is what made me realize that I can make it in this career. It was my debut in New York with a very small opera company called the Opera Forum. And I had just moved to New York, fresh out of college, and had stopped singing for a while and just gotten back into singing. And I met a young woman I worked with, and her boyfriend was producing this opera. So we were going to do Faust, and my character was Sia Bell, which is a trouser role. And at that time I was a mezzo, and a trouser role is when a woman would play a man's part, or usually a young boy's part. So with my figure, I really needed to make
bound,
myself
to be
look
bound.
like yes. So I really literally bought all these rolls of ace bandages, and I bound myself down, and the performance was at a YMCA in Queens, and we'd never been to the stage before, and it was the day of the performance. We got to the stage, and the Mephistopheles was a man who had been at the New York City Opera, and he knew everything. So we got to the stage, and the table that he had practiced jumping on in his aria was one of these old cable barrels, and it was very wobbly. So don't jump on the table. Well, so I'm bound up, and I put my little boy's outfit on, and he comes out, which is before my aria, mind you, not after my aria. Before my aria, he comes out to do his. He gets up on the table, crash. He literally says, "Is there a doctor in the house?" Well, yes, there was a doctor. The doctor came up on stage in the middle of the performance and said, "It could be broken. We don't know. We have to go to the hospital. We need to immobilize the arm. Does anyone have any ace bandages?"
Guess who had ace bandages, so what did you do?
So, went behind the curtain, took them, and I started throwing them out. The audience is watching these ace bandages being flung out from behind. They wrap up his arm, cart him off to the hospital, get on the phone. They find some young boy who knows the role. They stick he comes out there, stick a cape on him. He's walking around with the score. So here's our devil walking out singing like this. And here's the Sia Bell out there, the little boy singing like this, because I had nothing to bind myself. So I said, you know what, if I can make it through that, I can do anything.
Hey, bravo, huh? Bravo. On that note, we would love for you to share your beautiful chops with us, if you will. Would you sing for us? Will you sing O Mio Bambino Caro?
I absolutely will.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Show's music is brought